So I'm back with another video to actually continue doing demonstrations as it relates to mini book and mini book marketing. I've done a longer extensive training around this, and I have other trainings that I've done, but I wanted to come back and do a follow-up because in the last training that I was doing around this, a set of books that I thought I had with me actually didn't make it into that video because I thought I grabbed those too, and apparently not. So, but I did talk about some of them in the last video, but I felt that it was a reason why those particular ones didn't make it, because they wanted their own special segment. And so I'm here to actually do that now. All right, so just to, if you didn't see the previous video, which was a little under an hour and a half. So I didn't realize I was going to be going on that long about what I talked about, but I do want to give just kind of a brief recap in terms of what the intent was around me doing that video. So I was just initially coming to demonstrate for others how they can serve different niche markets by actually writing and allowing those writings, those publishings, doing self-publishing, to actually lead to other opportunities if they wanted, to be open for different opportunities, but just never feeling like they're limited to just serving just one particular niche market. So I was sharing how I leverage the whole of my life. My life is my niche, okay? And I have over 300 publications on Amazon for different industries, and a great majority of them are written in journal-style interactive formats, workbooks, handbooks, Q&A books, little mini courses and curriculums or so. But normally the publications are like anywhere from 30 to 70 pages, under 100 for sure, because they're meant to be mini messengers. And the mini messengers are not just like these little tiny books. It is just really the page amount. Has a certain amount of content, but the rest of the publication is designed to get people into action and to get them pulling out, the answers for themselves, instead of allowing so much information overload, to inundate them to the point they don't even know their own voice anymore. And that's why a lot of things just are not working for people, because they're trying to take in so much information and trying to sift through that, what's going to be for them. But when you can have this type of process, it puts you in touch with the core and the truth of who you are, and then you're able to bring out those different answers. So they're more like trigger prompts, trigger mechanics, journal prompts, types of experiences. So in the last video, my goal was to have the publications categorized where I could showcase a certain bunch or bundle, together and talk about that premise. And so the divine guidance kind of went in other directions, in which that's fine, because I'm always prepared, but I'm prepared to have divine editing step in. So I prepare myself in bringing things together, but I don't actually have like a script, or I don't have like a tentative agenda in terms of, oh, now we're going to talk about this. I'm just prepared, and I allow the experience to be. And even though I'm coming back to do this particular kind of follow-up, if you will, I'm still going to allow the divine guidance, to take place. So as I was sharing in the last video how I write from different areas, of my life. And so the category where I was going to talk about in terms of the spirituality and everything, and those who follow my branding, they know about my background in terms of graduating from Bible college, ordained minister, been in ministry, have several ministry platforms for a different variety of faiths. But my primary base, of course, would be the Christ, perspective. But I do serve other industries, or other faith-based initiatives, I should say. So the publications that I'm going to feature, today are definitely inspired by my own journey and just things of everyday life. So I'm actually going to feature, and some of these are throwbacks. I'm going to feature one of the faves by most, is called A Fresh New Start with God. All right. And the subtitle is An Inspirational Journal for Rediscovering Your True Connection to Source Power and Life Purpose. All right. So this is a 5x8 publication, and what I call a mini messenger. And it's under, I'm sure, 80 pages. Probably about, maybe a 70-page publication. But it's just a short amount of writing here, and the rest are just the journal pages so that you can have, your experience. And so these are really great too when going out for marketing, in a sense. And I demonstrated in the previous video, but also other trainings where I show even ladies, how you can have these size publications in your purse or so, and then men, even if you have some, you don't have a purse, of course, but you can keep, a copy or two or so in your car and reference it if a conversation happens, to strike up. It's just part of being ready, okay? And also having platforms that other people can go to, that you have listed in here. So that's, that one. Then the next one here is a throwback, is Water to Wine. All right. And so it's a Miracles Journal Guide for Creating Conscious Communion with the Vineyards of Life. And so, yeah, so it's probably about 50 pages, short writing, and then the journal pages, all right, that one can journal on. All right. So this next one here is called Jehovah Java, a fresh brewed with the Father, an intentional morning journal for creating communion with God daily. So there's a short writing in here, and then the rest are those conscious communion journal pages that you can commune with God each morning as you're having your coffee or your tea or so. One for business is The Basics of Small Business Pottery Mastery 101. It's an empowerment journal planner for masterfully molding a successful small business empire. And as you can see there's the pottery there. And we think about being on the potter's wheel, right? Stopping by the potter's house and get your business and life molded and make again another vessel, right? Because that has to happen. Sometimes what you showed up at one point in your life and business, is time to do something different and allow the master potter to put you on that wheel and make again, another vessel. So yeah, so those are just a few. I have two more that I'm going to show as well. So this one here is Great is Thy Gratefulness. And it's an inspirational gratitude journal for creating a daily campaign of thanksgiving. All right. So that's a spinoff or a playoff of Great is Thy Faithfulness, but Great is Thy Gratefulness. And so again, very short writing, and the rest are the journal pages so that people can do their thank yous. I recommend doing at least 3 to 5 things that you're thankful for, each day to write down. So that's, great publication for that. And then here's another one that's called Ready, Set, Not Yet. It's all about divine timing. And the subtitle is A Motivational Preparation Journal for Taking Right Inspired Actions According to Divine Order. So again, a very short writing. The rest are the journal pages to have that experience to do the planning, right? So my point in being able to share these, again, is this is just for one particular niche section, or so niche focus, or core focus, so to speak. But in the last video, which I have that linked below, where I'm sharing the different categories that I write from my different life experience, whether it's wellness, professional or so, hobbies, just things in general. I leverage the whole of my life, all right, and write for the different industries and have different platforms for different industries. And I just allow people to sync up, with those platforms and be served by, the platforms, the publications, and products, that are on those particular platforms. And yes, I have my bigger, major, main things, so to speak, that I do. But I'm categorized and cross-brand in different areas. And so whoever lands on those platforms, or whoever gets this publication or these publications, the website is not going to take them to a main website of mine. It's going to take them to the platform that has like resources. So, so these somehow, like I said, didn't make it into, some of them didn't make it into the last video. I did mention a few. But again, I felt they wanted, their own special segment, so to speak. So let me just share a little bit in case you want to do publishing, all right? So this is a 5x8 publication, and this is a 6x9 publication. And you can actually publish for free on an Amazon platform, Kindle Direct Publishing, and I'll have the website link to that platform in the description. But you can publish for free. You can get a free ISBN and also free book covers. And there's no limit to what you can publish. All right. So for those of you who have felt you wanted to publish a work, but you haven't known how to do that, just have no idea, this is the simplest way and easiest way to get started. And then I've demonstrated for you some really small, simple books. You don't have to write a big book. And even if you do want to write a big book, I don't really recommend it, but but if you do want to write a bigger book, then produce a small book first. Produce maybe a chapter or two out of that publication first. And like I do, my first publication, as I've talked about in other videos, especially the last one, my first publication was a traditional size, publication in a sense, with a professional graphic designer's book cover, and all those different things. But when I started publishing for multiple industries, then of course I had to leverage this, type of way of publishing. And so I'm encouraging that. But I ended up taking my bigger book and breaking it down, breaking chapters down and making separate publications of those. So I would just say to anyone is that don't wait to write a bigger book. Get something out there now. If you have blog posts that you can convert into content for the book, do it. That's what I started off doing early on when I got into doing multiple industry publishing. I had so much content that I could take and repurpose. Some of you have blogs that people aren't even paying attention to, but that content is screaming, monetize me, and let me go out in a different format. And so that's the thing that you can do. And for those of you who are faith-based, whether Christian or what spirituality, whatever that is for you, and you know that you have a work that you want to bring here into the world, this is the most simplest way to do it. And even if those of you who have published traditionally, you want to do something different and you want to expand what you do, then I encourage you to publish mini messenger books. Again, they don't have to be the little tiny books or so. It's just that it's a publication with just a modest amount of content, but very impactful in the message and the experience that you're bringing forth. So you can do that. You can write these books in like an hour or two. You can write like you're writing an article or a blog post, and then create the journal pages or planner experience. And so there's, like I said, just a variety of ways. But if you want to do even a bigger version or so, then you could publish that in less than a week. And on KDP, you actually can publish the work within 24 to 72 hours. But meaning you could write the book or edit it or do all that. And in the other videos, I actually go through how you actually do that and give the breakdown of dimensions of for margins and formatting and all those different things. So again, avail yourself to that particular training, and I'll have a link to that, below. So I just wanted to come back and to be able to do this. And whatever it is that is on your heart to do, whatever God has put on your heart to do, this is the time to be doing it. This is the time. There's no better time than the present. And half of the things that we have not done are things that should have been done 15 yesterdays ago. All right? But the power is in the present moment. There's no judgment around this. But now it's time to be able to provide that experience. And for some of you who maybe feel that there's some things that have passed for you, that you can't go back and do that, and maybe you don't even want to do that anymore, but you feel like there's some regret around not sharing your gift a certain way, that's where you can put it in publications. And you can share still that part of your journey and let that be that part of the journey that goes off to bless other people, even though you may have no interest in even sharing on that level. But at least it gives you an opportunity to leave that living legacy and give that contribution to others from that part of your experience. So just want you to think about that, pray about that, be present about it. What should you bring forth during these times in this publication format? But then also, too, it may lead to the opportunities to speak about things or the evolution of it. That's pretty much what I do. I put things in publication. It's very much old news for me. And then what I would be talking about and sharing about, even from a speaking engagement perspective, would not be around what I actually have published in the book. It would be the evolution of that. It would be the expansion of that. It would be the new now testament of it. And that's what Jesus did. He didn't come to regurgitate the old. He brought the evolution, the expansion of it, the next level of it is what his demonstration was. And yes, he referenced certain things from, that journey from the Old Testament, I should say, but he brought the new embodiment. And that's what you're here to do, is to bring the new now testament embodiment of who you are. And as you do that, then what has been before your journey, that's your Old Testament. And I operate in those dimensions, the was, is, and is to come vibration, And so when you see publications, the publications are my wasness. Even when it's a new release, it's still my wasness. My isness is what you would get in the present, but you also get some of the emerging that's to come. Right? By the time some of you see this video, it is already my wasness in a sense, because there's other, dimensions. But anyway, that's a whole lot of other things. But my point in being able to, again, bring this to you, I'm looking down here at these publications like they're talking to me, like they're getting me hype here, is so that you can see that this is the part of the greater works, the greater gifts that we're here to demonstrate. We're here to multiply our efforts. We've been given talents, so we need to multiply those talents. We don't need to sit on one thing and say, this is my niche, this is my core focus, this is my... We don't need to just take that, because we don't want the return of the Lord in whatever context and vibration that is in the present to then look and say that, away from me. You didn't take what I gave you and maximized it. You didn't multiply it. Be the one who had the 5 talents that got multiplied into 10 and so on. Don't be the one who's got this one gift that you think you have to hang on to and let me keep expanding this forevermore throughout my whole life. No, you're here to bring forth in this newer age, the greater works generation. We're here to bring forth multiple things. And you all have experiences. Even young people are coming in with some experiences that they can share. But certainly those of us who, are more mature in age, we have a body of works of life experience that we can share. And again, even if it's not something that you do now, you still can be able to share that part. Share from the first part of your faith journey with someone who actually needs that, even though you may not be sharing from that part anymore. Allow that to be for somebody else, and then now share from the newness. You talk about that part. But give the Old Testament of yourself to someone else, because someone else is on that level and they need that. So again, I come on these videos not knowing how long I'm going to talk and what I'm going to talk about, so to speak. I have a generalization, but I just really allow myself to be divinely guided, or, let the Spirit lead, in a sense. And so, that's exactly what I'm doing. But I do want to champion you all. I am glad that I did go back and get those publications and bring them forth. So I'm going to, just show them again. Not in any particular order here, but yeah, a fresh new start with God. And can you imagine, I have to go here, can you imagine being out, having this publication, one that you've produced, okay? Not necessarily this one here, but it's okay if you have this one, but I'm just saying one that you've produced, right? And you have it in your car or so, and then you have a divine rendezvous with one of your brothers and sisters in Christ or those of other faith. You have these rendezvous, and next thing you know, you're having this grand old time, and you say, hey, I got this devotion or this, that, and that. You can share that. You can share that. All right, and bless someone, have their lives be changed by that. All right, so I just had to go there. So imagine that you have produced your own morning devotional, your own morning journal, and then you can do a book club around that, or a morning prayer time around that virtual, fresh brew with the Father type of experience. You can do that, but you can produce your own. Again, I'm not here trying to necessarily promote mine. I'm showing you demonstrations, but I'm not knocking if you get a few of these either. But I'm encouraging you to create your own. So you can create these different experiences for you and those you want to make an impact on, but also others in the world, all right, who need that at this time. I know there's a million devotions and journals out there, but guess what? We need yours, right? The Lord wants you to bring forth yours. The Spirit wants you to bring forth those works, all right? All right, so water to wine, all right? What's the transformational journey that you have? What's the evolution? What are the miracles that have taken place in your world that someone else needs to know about? And even if you don't get into a whole lot of your story, again, you're creating the space. Just let it be inspired. Half of what I do is I'm inspired. Triggers from my life inspire me to create and create that experience for other people. They don't have to have my experience, but I can take that and allow that to be a sacred space that then they can have their own, because we all have commonalities, even though our journeys may be different, okay? So yeah. Great is thy gratefulness. So I've got like 3 gratitude type of journals. One for appreciation, one for Thanksgiving, and then one is, gratitude. They're different vibrations. They're synonymous, of course, but but yeah. So I do have, 3 different versions. I'll probably include the platform, with those there. But yeah, so I'm just inspired. So what do you have to be thankful for? You can create a Thanksgiving journal, a gratitude journal prompts or so. You can do that yourself, all right? And they can have your little scriptures or an affirmation. However, just allow yourself to be led. But again, yeah, I am promoting you to start writing and publishing. That's it. Anything else is going on here is definitely that, because some of you need to. Some of you never considered writing a publication or a publishing. You've never even considered that. And this is the time that the Lord is saying the time is now. What do you have to lose? And you have a free platform to be able to do it. I've got trainings below that you can look at and get a good feel for the experience. Very easy to do. Yeah, but this is your time. So again, I'm putting it in your face at this point. These little books go a long way. All right, ready, set, not yet. It's all about divine timing. All right, because sometimes you all try to move ahead of the Lord, and even though He may create some urgency for you to do it, most of the time it's hurry up and wait, But what do you do, as that waiting is taking place? You're actually preparing, right? So you're preparing for the divine timing and the right inspired actions to take. All right. So yeah, there we go. All right. So I think, what was it? One more. Oh yeah. The small business, pottery, mastery 101. So for those of you who are in business or in ministry, which ministry, the business of the Lord in that context, what I teach is the spiritual entrepreneurship, aspect. So for those of you who are in spiritual entrepreneur aspect, that means you are in ministry or faith works, but you are in business. That is the calling of your life's career, your life's purpose in a sense. Not just to make an impact, but an income from serving, in that way. And definitely this publication can help with that. But again, aside from that, some of you who've been in ministry can help to prepare someone else for ministry with publications, or someone else for business or career. Your sky is your limit, which is another publication of mine, and a bigger works and a platform. So see, I'm multiplying my talents, as you can see. Do not want the master energy to come back and like, you only did this. Oh no, Lord, I'm going out of here empty. For you gonna get it all from me. This orange will not have any juice left, for sure. I will gladly go home empty for this life anyway. So yeah, all right. So I just wanted to share these. In regards to whether I share them all or not, it's really irrelevant. The point is that it is to get you, inspired. And again, because these publications sort of hid themselves from me, not to be able to show them in the last video, there needed to be a special segment for these. And again, I'm glad to come and, and provide this. But definitely let your words be your flesh, in a sense, become the words in these books at this point. And when I say flesh, not the flesh you got to kill off. I mean, the liveliness of you now be put into publications. Let that be the OT of you, but then also to create some new T versions, some NT versions of you too, that you can use now to be able to help inspire people. Okay, so again, these are easy to produce, easy to market with, easy to allow different opportunities to come. Jesus said, behold, I stand at the door and knock. All right. These are keys. All right. Let your gifts make room for you. Publishing these can open up the doors to those different rooms of in my house, John 14. There are many mansions, many rooms, many levels. Let one publication take you into another room, into another room, to another room. Let these help you expand your gifts. Let your gifts make room. Okay? All right. So before I start getting into a sermon here, because I can definitely go into that, I'm going to bring this to a close. Bless you all. And I hope this has served you tremendously. When you do publish, because I'm saying that you are, when you do publish, please drop your link below in this video so that other people can see your works, and you give them the opportunity to be inspired, but also the opportunity to purchase your publications. It gives me the opportunity to provide the space to promote, for you. And that, we're here together. Let's expand. This is part of your marketing evangelism opportunity here. All right. So drop your links below. Again, I'm holding space, praying for all of you, championing all of you, and just know that it is your time. And I know you're going to do tremendous things, and this will be but yet a stepping stone and a vehicle to help you get to this next level. All right. So I'll see you all in the next video. God bless. Take care.